The youngster was thrust forward, ribcage thin, and the galactic soldier groaned. The child staggered through the archway as the limb stabbed him more forcefully this time. The roar confronted him, thousands of strange, terrible voices. In a blinding white light, the audience adored this moment. The uncertainty. The dread, but this one, the one screaming, had a different number of lungs, without hesitation. The youngster stood alone, bare feet in the dust-flecked ring. Expression unreadable. 13? 14? Maybe there was a silence in him that even the announcer's booming voice couldn't shake Dot, and that voice, smooth, condescending, declared, "Kindly greet our newest, untrained, unarmed contestant from the dying planet Earth." When the child looked up, his face was bone-lean, eyes calm, hair unevenly chopped, as if sliced with a blade. He didn't wave, didn't flinch, didn't smile. Just watched, calculating, not afraid. Not even interested, 3 gladiators stood a dozen meters away. Genetically engineered monsters. The first, a horned chiton, built for speed, for fury, for showmanship. The third, a hybrid. Ape and lizard, serrated tail, pure hatred in plated armor. The crowd roared. The announcer howled, "Your bet's my noble and superior species." Mandibles clicked. Tentacles waved credits in the air. "I'll give him 10 ration cubes. He dies in a minute." 30 seconds? Humans cry from their eyes, right? In the private balcony behind plasma glass, senators observed lazily. But one general leaned in, squinted at the biofeed. "No fear markers," he whispered. "Heart rate spike? Malfunction," muttered his aide. "Mammal. Radioactive jungle origin. Biology ... unstable. Zoom in on his neck," the aide complied. There, gleaming ever so slightly, a tag. A dog tag. The general clicked his mandibles. "Pause that. Enhance," but the AI froze. Level 5 clearance required. And no such clearance existed in the arena. The horned gladiator advanced. The crowd tensed. The announcer oiled his voice. "Let's see what Earth has to offer." The boy didn't move. A half-ton of fury charged him, claws raised, eyes blazing. It should have been over, but then, one step, fluid, precise, not flashy. Just right, the chiton flew past, crashing into the wall. With bone-rattling force, silence, dust, bloomed. Metal dented, popcorn dropped. The boy didn't gloat. Didn't pose. He simply turned his head. Watching. The second gladiator approached. Slower now, tails twitching. The announcer faltered. "Undoubtedly a fluke, but now we see real combat." The boy walked, not ran. Hands dropped to the ape lizard's sides. The swing came, slow and hissing. The child ducked. Moved beneath, gripped the wrist, twisted, dislocated, fractured, a crunch. A howl. The boy let the alien fall, slow and heavy, face first into the dust. Gasps, one whisper from the upper deck. "I bet on the human. Random muscle spasms." The announcer offered weakly. "Shut up," someone muttered. "That primitive nervous system." The third gladiator, a giant of armor and teeth, halted, breathing heavy, watching. The boy raised 2 fingers. Touched the tag, dog tag, under alien sun. It caught the light. Glinted.id, 073, Black Dawn. The screen blinked, then glitched. Plasma feeds darkened. Vitals disappeared. When the view returned, the third gladiator was down. The boy stood still. Dust on his feet, eyes calm. He lifted the tag again. Let it fall with a soft clink. No cheers. Just awe. He didn't leave through the victory gate. Didn't wave. He sat cross-legged in the dirt. In the senator's box. Aides panicked. "What do we do?" The general stared. "We rewrite the war manuals," report spread. Propaganda failed. Alien youths mimicked his stillness. Recruits asked for Earth mentors. 1. Retired human commander saw the footage, laughed. "Took longer than I thought," she said. Her dog tag. Black Dawn, retired. The Empire scrambled, tried to explain. "But how do you describe a child that moves like a ghost and strikes like judgment?" The final gate opened. Unit 917 emerged. A perfect war beast, muscle, steel, rage, no losses. He saw the boy, snarled Dot, paused. Dot, something was wrong. The boy blinked. Tilted his head, 917 charged, and vanished. The boy moved too fast. Too precise. Cameras missed it. Dot, one whisper. Don't disturb Earth. Another whisper. That's where they hide. The dog tag still gleamed. The Empire would never be the same. One moment, he was lying on the ground, face buried in a serrated plasma blade. The youngster was crouching next to him, with one hand clutched as the dust blade's spine was exposed. Don't, he said, delicately pressing 2 fingers to a location. Behind the ear on the back of the creature's neck, 917 stopped somewhere in the sand at the tip, whispering not a threat, a suggestion. 10 feet away from its owner, the plasma blade shone where it had landed. He didn't hurt. He stood up again without a flourish or expression. 917, he ended him without making it dramatic, which was worse in some ways. At last the announcer's voice came back, trembling. And our top fighter has fallen. When commotion broke out on the observation deck, he took down 917. He mumbled something using 2 fingers, and the audio feed picked it up. It was cleaned up, examined, and disassembled by 4 translation eyes. It was identified as human speech, with an unknown sentence in the Earth English dialect. Context. The generals exclaimed, "Mercy! Mercy!" It was a mercy kill, and nothing worse was spoken. The child approached the viewing glass slowly and nonchalantly. With his hands behind his back, standing upright, he gazed up, knowing that he had made eye contact with a camera. The stands did not search or scan. A drone floated by, and he grinned as the feed disappeared from all of the Empire's displays and turned black. A brief message took the place of the broadcast. Transmission that had been cut off by Earth. No broadcast tower, not even those in Empire-controlled territory, could overrule Directive Alpha. Earth Directive Alpha, what is it? His boss muttered something in response to a junior official's question. It doesn't exist. And then a second message displayed. Congratulations, you've triggered observational status. Good luck. Within 4 minutes, the galactic stock market plummeted by 20% and military areas went dark. Requests for clarification poured through diplomatic channels to Earth, but none were addressed. Because the battle was never the point, the youngster had never intended to prove anything. Instead, he had come to gain attention and serve as a reminder that Earth was still observing, still listening, still getting ready in the arena's shadows. Drones used for outer ring maintenance attempted to remove the blood. However, each time they scanned the floor, the child had passed through too many anomalies, too much heat. His human footprints didn't cause burns. Even while walking barefoot on atomic sand, one of the drones eventually attempted to scan his tag. It exploded. The Empire reported the incident as rogue AI activity. Senators declared an emergency. Number 1 believed the AI glitch theory anymore. At the summit, the military wanted to express regret. The companies wanted to hire him. The boy was deemed a sign by the religious sects, but Earth said nothing because Earth was aware that the Empire had not yet fully learned the lesson. A Zerelian historian said in the viewing room, "I thought humans were emotional, impulsive. The general didn't turn." "That's what they wanted you to think," he replied, outside in the mud. "They're deliberate. They just speak the language of chaos." At last, the youngster sat down again in the same position and in the same silence. But this time there were no adversaries. No more wagers. No announcer. The arena, a magnificent representation of imperial might, had just been transformed into a monument honoring one human child who reminded the Empire what it meant to undervalue Earth without ever raising his voice or using a weapon. The boy looking skyward was the last picture. The arena drones captured before they turned off. As is the case with most pandemics, fear came quietly. In the 20 minutes after Blackout 17 at the arena, emergency meetings were called by the Galactic ministries. Martial law was imposed. One branch of government disbanded completely. After the first hour, 3 warlords left Pride. On the second hour, a senator from a core world made the error of asking aloud, "Is Earth still capable of producing nuclear weapons?" The room fell. Silent, nobody knew. And the most frightening thing wasn't the dog tag, it was the boy and the stillness. As a result of the Empire's own arrogance. Everyone had forgotten what Earth had to offer. Humans are a regulated species, emotionally and technologically unstable, rudimentary. The Empire left the rest to interns, and now there's just one boy in the dirt, barefoot, like a breeze through curtains. The smeared boy had passed through their best gladiators, without yelling or speaking, one smirk that somehow carried the weight of 1,000 words. The Empire was bleeding from unseen consequences, but not yet literally.